Welcome everybody, this is Commander Ramsey. I'm going to do a new video here. Don't normally do lower tier ships, but thought I would do this one for those of you who like to play the tier 4 ships, tier 3, tier 4. And particularly, you'll notice in the tier 4 battles, it's not uncommon to have 2 aircraft carriers on each side. And this can pose somewhat of a challenge. But I'm in the tier 3 Vampire, a nice little destroyer. And you'll see what happens in this battle. I'll give you the ship build at the end, as well as the commander skills. In this battle, you'll notice on our side we've got a Langley and got a German CV, both tier 4. And the other side we've got a Langley and I believe it's a Japanese CV. You also get a lot of destroyers typically at this tier, and this battle's no exception. The Vampire is a great little destroyer at tier 3, and I'm going to display the probably above average anti-aircraft capability at this tier level. And the number of planes that I take down in the battle is pretty astounding actually, particularly for tier 3. And you notice here I'm kind of turning my ship toward the incoming planes. I've got my priority sector set already. Trying to dodge, try to keep some motion turning, not keeping a straight path. That's the worst thing you can do. And here I try to reset my priority to this side of the ship. And I'm moving and changing direction the whole time, but trying to keep my guns on that side. At the same time, here comes a torpedo coming in. Now, one thing you got to deal with sometimes at tier 4, having 2 aircraft carriers coming at you, when they team up on you, that gets really difficult. And you'll see at near the end of this battle that actually happens. The Vampire has some pretty good guns for tier 3. Unfortunately, I only had a 10 skill commander at this level, so I didn't get to include my favorite commander skill, which is radio location finding, early predecessor to radar, and it's quite handy when you learn how to use it. Now the Vampire only has 3 torpedoes, but it does give you the option of firing them one at a time so you can change their directions. I had a pretty rotten shot there, didn't get the cruiser, so I had to circle back. Still out of detection, hopefully my friendlies will put him to good use. I did switch my shells to AP, hoping I'd get some hits on him. All over pins, unfortunately. So it's just over pin city. So even a destroyer's AP shells on a cruiser, you're gonna overpin, unfortunately, in many cases. Couldn't quite get it down low enough to hit a citadel. So. Unfortunately, with my shaky hands and progressing neurological problems, I'm not near the player I used to be. My finger dexterity and so forth has continued to worsen, but I play for fun, try to challenge myself. So I circle back and still trying to progress forward to spot for my team. Our St. Louis cruiser is getting a little out ahead of me. I've got some other DDs, enemy DDs moving in. Moved back to HE to use feel that's a little more useful in dealing with destroyers. And for the most part, it's probably a little safer on cruisers, but I have had some luck using the AP shells on cruisers, probably the heavier cruisers. Here I'm trying to get into range to use my torpedoes on this battleship. Put all of them, I notice he's probably going to start turning, so I got one of the torpedoes a little further to the left. Most players kind of try to turn away, so got a pretty good spread on him. Kind of kiting away here, using my smoke to try to lower my damage intake. And I got 2 torpedoes on him and got a flooding. Trying to finish him off, and there he goes down. Yeah, toot the horn of victory there in that particular battle. So it's time to move on and try to progress. And here's the other destroyer popping up. He's not giving up. I'm trying to get him spotted so my team can help me out here. Fortunately, my friendly CV is going to go out and light him up, try to attack him, and I'll try to hit him with the guns. The Vampire's guns I would list as above average for this tier. They're fairly fast reloading, I think at around 5 seconds or so, which is great for tier 3. Trying to keep my bow toward him, so as he fires at me, it'll be a little harder for him to hit me. I'm a little healthier than he is, and I want to keep it that way. At the same time, I'm kind of zigzagging a little bit, because I suspect he was probably going to launch his torpedoes at me. Even slowing my speed down a little bit to try to confuse him, in case he's firing his torpedoes. And there they are. So I was able to dodge that. Keep moving forward. Keeping him lit up will be helpful for the friendlies on my team to also get him. Okay. So got him taken down and starting to move slowly around to the southeastern corner of the map toward the enemy's east end of their flag zone, their cap. Got a battleship with me, and one of the CVs has been supporting us, so we're making some good progress. The ship count, as you can see from the top, is about even, and so is the score, so this thing is a long way from being over. We move forward. My goal is to try to get out a little further in front of my battleship so I can spot for him, and also for my CVs. You can notice the Vampire is pretty fast for tier 3. I'm up around 37 knots, and I may have the Sierra Mike flag, I think as it's called, to improve speed. At the end you'll see that. If I do, it's always helpful when you're in a destroyer. Get you a little extra knot or 2 of speed. So I know when I hit the cap zone, that's probably going to make the enemy CVs start flying my way, but that's pretty typical. But that's good. I've got 1 smoke left, and you notice I've shot down 2 enemy planes, but keep an eye on that. It's going to get really helter-skelter here in just a minute. So, capturing the flag, you'll notice what the enemy CVs do here now, as expected. And here they come. Here comes the first one coming in. You can hear the fearsome sound of the propeller blades. Set my priority sector to that side of the ship, and here we go. You'll notice the other CV sending his planes in. It looks like torpedoes. Took out another plane. That's a heck of a hit. That was a good hit by the CV Langley there from their team. So now this becomes really a dodge game. Typically, when you get double CVs, they'll try to get you in a crisscross pattern so they can take you out with torpedoes and or other weapons. Here I was going to try to use my smoke. And you got to hand it to these guys. They still keep trying. So I circle back. I got a long smoke in the Vampire, which is uncharacteristic of most destroyers. So that's quite helpful in this particular case. My goal here is to get back in the smoke because my health is getting down about 40%. I'm still continuing to capture. As long as they don't hit me, the flag progression will continue in capturing their flag here. You see they're trying. You gotta give them credit for that. Key is when you're in smoke, is keep moving, particularly if you've got your anti-aircraft fire, because they can see that. And I've got pretty good anti-aircraft on this boat, so I'm going to continue to try to shoot them down. But I'm continuing to move back and forth in the smoke, and a long smoke, which is helpful, and makes it much harder on them to hit you, and also adds to your progression of capturing the flag. We're starting to get a ship advantage, but my goal here now, I've come this far, is to try to take the flag, which is very difficult. And there he hit me on a blind spot, so you notice that cut the flag progression back. So now my plans are kind of ruined. A little upset there I was. And I thought, okay, well, it's time to go on the attack because I'm not going to last much longer. So I put on my speed boost. I'm going to circle back around and I'm going to go attack the CVs. Saying I ain't got anything to lose. We've got a good lead started, so I'm going to come after you guys now. And this will be challenging, particularly if you see the health on the two CVs. They're pretty much at 100%. And they're pretty far away from the rest of my teammates. So this is going to get challenging. Hopefully, South Carolina, he's within gun range, and my friendly CVs will come and aid me. You notice here they're going to try the old crisscross maneuver. There's the torpedoes coming in from that side, and they're going to come in and they're going to 90 degrees around. They're going to try them from that side. So I've got to be very careful here. Here's the old crisscross maneuver. It's quite popular if you've got more than one CV. Sometimes you can do it with a single CV, but it's much more effective if you got two CVs. Notice I'm watching my speed and my turning ability. Trying to keep an eye on both sets of torps. It's very challenging. At the same time, I'm trying to get a few shots in there. Let them know that, hey, I'm still coming after you. This was the most entertaining part of the battle, most challenging. They're still trying to hit me. They get in a shot or two there. Fortunately, my teammates are attacking with CVs flights, which is helping me because that requires them to put in a little more effort if they're going to attack me. Which you can see they're continuing to do, and I'm continuing to take out their planes. So it's a tough battle to the end. I do get in torpedo range, send a first volley out. Langley's getting low on health. The Japanese Hasso is still pretty healthy, 75% there. I should have aimed a little lower here. I forget the Langley has a see-through hangar deck, and so a lot of my shots here weren't really doing me much good, but I was probably paying more attention to the multiple squadron attacks upon my destroyer. I'm still moving fiercely one side to the other, and I believe our battleship South Carolina took out the Japanese CV, but Langley's behind the island, so I've got the carcass of the other aircraft carrying my way, but I began to think, okay, I'll need to launch some torpedoes, spread that one a little to the left. Hopefully one of them will hit the Langley behind the island as I continue to pepper them with gunshots. Notice I'm up to 21 planes that I've shot down with my little Vampire destroyer. And I see my torpedoes are going to hit and the horn of victory sounds. So that was a great fun. You could still have fun at the lower tiers. Play the right ship. I would recommend the Vampire if you like destroyers, particularly at the low tier. It's a lot of fun, particularly in a tier 4 battle where you got dual CVs. It can really amount to a lot of fun. South Carolina did really well on our team. I paid him a good compliment. It was a really fun battle. You can have a lot of fun at the low tiers. Occasionally I do that just for a break. Details in the battle. I was able to take out the one battleship, Mr. Duck. I managed to take out the Langley with the torpedo. Got 9 of his planes. You notice I got 12 planes of the Hasso, and also I put in some destruction on another 2 ships, destroyer and a cruiser. Get some damage on him. And as far as detailed report, you can see that. You can see the XP modifiers. Overall, it was a good battle. 112 artillery hits, 3 torpedo hits, 21 planes, 4 ships destroyed, 3 fire set, and at least 1 or 2 floodings. The Vampire, like I said, I've only got 10 commander skill points on this one, but I'll show you how I've got the ship set up. Pretty typical setup. Main armaments mod 1 and damage control system mod 1. You can see the timings on your repairs and smoke and engine boosts. You got 5-second reload on the guns, and you got 4 guns, which is good for a tier 3 destroyer. You can see the skill set I went up. Survivability is great to have because you don't have too many points, hit points to deal with to begin with. And concealment expert, that helps your concealment. But if I could, I would add the radio location finding as be my next skill that I would add. So I hope you enjoyed this this battle. There's my flag setup. I did have the quicker reloading on the consumables, but I did not have Sierra Mike loaded, so that would be something I should have added to improve the speed of the ship. So I hope you enjoyed this lower tier battle. It's a lot of fun. Commander Ramsey signing off, and happy sailing on the 7 seas.